Hey y'all, and welcome to the Boozy Cinnamon Roll. My name is Judson, and thank y'all so much for coming. Today, we are working on our 25 days of holiday crafting and doing a little day drinking while we're at it. Today's craft is a toy box thrift flip. Today's drink is a dirty rum and coke, which basically it's a rum and coke, and then you add milk or cream. I used a non-dairy creamer, the vanilla non-dairy creamer, to kind of make it a little more festive. It's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's a little on the sweet side, but it's pretty good. And then today's intro is brought to you from Monner's Market. Now, why am I stealing, borrowing, appropriating the intros from other DIY channels? That's a good question. And because I haven't quite settled on one that I'm particularly comfortable with, people who know me know that I have another channel, which is specifically for kids, and I filmed that during 2020, 2021, and I had a very specific kid-friendly greeting that I used, and it is my inclination to use the same greeting, but this channel is not for kids. So I don't want to use the same greeting. So I am trying out other people, grown-ups, greetings to see if I can figure out what works good for me. And when I do, we'll settle on that and go from there. But today's is from Monner's Market. The craft doesn't have anything to do with them. Much love to them. They're a channel that I follow and subscribe to. You check them out. A lot of good crafts and a good spirited individual. So, all right, moving along. I did want to check in real quick and show you this is the OG jug of glue from the first year we did day drinking and crafting way back in 2017, I think it was, 2016, 2017. I bought it. I have used approximately this much. It may last me the rest of my life, we'll see. But all right, let's get started. Let's try not to break things. All right, so today, like I said, it's a toy box thrift flip. And basically what I did was I looked through the garage, looked through the boys' old toys that are out in the garage that they, obviously, my sons are adults. They don't play with them anymore. And they're not likely to be like, oh, this is such a meaningful toy I want my kid to have. And they're not exactly maybe kid safe or kid friendly to pass on to like the kids at church or to donate or anything like that. So I am gonna see what I can do with them and see what I can turn them into. The first one is this little metal muffin tin. Maybe it was for an easy bake oven. Certainly my boys didn't have an easy bake oven once they were big enough to figure out what was going on. They were interested in making real muffins in the real oven. They didn't have interest in this. But so it is a little, muffin tin, and it's certainly seen the worst for wear. And then kind of to go with it, I've got this little rolling pin, which was probably for Play-Doh. And then what I thought we could do is kind of turn it into an ornament, kind of a holiday, baking ornament. So what I've got the rolling pin in this. I've got these little candy pieces. They're the tree bases from the other day that we talked about. They came off the bottom of some bottle brush trees that came from the Dollar Tree. So I thought I could use those. I've got some red and white twine, kind of candy cane themed. I also have this, which, if I can lift it off the table, is also a base from a bottle brush tree, but it's white and kind of mounded up like snow. But I also kind of thought it looked a little bit like frosting, like on the top of a cupcake or something like that. And then there is the little hole, obviously, where you would stick the tree. But I thought that what I would do is stick this red berry, so it's kind of like a cranberry on top or a cherry on top, and we could kind of start from there. Also, I've got all kinds of glue, all kinds of glitter. Not that the glue is special, but all kinds of glitter to kind of make it a little bit more festive. So I just put a little bit of hot glue on the stick part of the little red berry, and I'm just sticking it right in. There you go. And it kind of will hopefully stay like a little, like I said, like a little cranberry or a little cherry on top. And then what I'm gonna do, this tin has a little hole right there, so I'm gonna use that to tie twine to be our, to hold it in place, or to hang it on the tree rather. So I'm gonna make sure that I keep in mind that this is the top of the ornament. And then I thought that in this top one here that's all banged up and beat up, that is where I would put the one little cupcake top, as it were. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some hot glue, and I've already tried to put it in the wrong one, and put a generous amount of hot glue in here. You could have done this part with, like, I don't know, plaster of Paris or maybe some air dry clay, something a little bit more substantial to get it to hold on. And then I'm gonna drop this in there, and that is not even enough. Okay, so let's try some hot glue on the back of this. If this does not work out, I do want to let y'all know, like, in my head, this turned out great. Like, I absolutely planned this to be an amazing looking gift, or amazing looking ornament. And yeah, it turned out great in my head. So if it doesn't turn out IRL, yeah, it's an execution problem, and that falls on me. Okay, so we've got this with the little decor piece in there. And then I thought that I would take the rolling pin and glue it kind of at an angle across the front. Like, ideally I'd have a whisk or like a little wooden spoon that was appropriately sized, but I don't. So I'm gonna kind of glue this across like this, a little bit at an angle, and hopefully the hot glue will work, and we'll be good to go. And I do kind of have to make sure that I'm getting that where I'm gluing the rolling pin is going to hit spots on the baking dish that are raised up, and that there'll be points of contact, because if not, then obviously it won't really stick to the tray the way we want to. Okay, that's kind of good. So like this, see, are you getting the vision there? Are you picking up what I'm trying to lay down, as it were? And then I thought that I would put some of these candy pieces down here at the bottom. Like, not that the idea is not that we were making candy, but like perhaps that these are left out. We were using them to, as part of the decorations or part of the flavoring, and they just, have landed here. Y'all, the hot glue strings. pre-cleanup. Now, as I mentioned, once my boys were old enough to realize what was going on in the kitchen, they both were very serious about, you know, taking their turn and getting to, you know, produce holiday treats, cookies or muffins or cupcakes, whatever it was. And certainly my Matthew, who is a chef now, was all about it. Although Paul before him loved cupcakes, loved to make cupcakes. He had one of those cupcake doctor recipes, and that was like his favorite. He would like go through and pick out different kind of recipes that he was interested in trying. My son Matthew, because he has a little bit of OCD, when he was young, like he was a very clean, organized baker. Like, you know, he would do the mise en place, put everything out in its place in the containers, then put all of the full-size containers of the ingredients away, so he just had the amount that he needed, you know, already pre-portioned, add them, you know, to the mixing bowl as needed, you know, and put them immediately in the sink, and then wash them when he was done. Whereas my son Paul takes a little bit after me, and it's kind of like a general disaster until everything is completed, and then of course I'm gonna clean the kitchen. Which kind of baker are you? Are you a tidy, like clean freak baker, or are you more like it's organized chaos until it's done? I know which one I am, but I am curious to know which you are. All right, so now I wanted to add to this a little bit of glitter and a little bit of something to make it look kind of like, I mean, obviously not really batter because you don't use like snow and glitter to make muffins, but so that it looks like in some of the little muffin pan openings that there is, you know, spilled batter. So that's kind of what I'm wanting to do. And I thought that I could do, I've got the glittery Christmas snow, and I thought that we could start with that using the hot glue, so that it's kind of got something substantial to hold on to, versus like just using the regular glue and then it's just going to be smooth and flat. So we'll add just a little bit of this in here and kind of gently tap it down. If I were smart, I was gonna say if I were smart, I'd use a paintbrush or something so that I don't like burn myself, but so we'll do that. I don't know if you can see this at the angle. So we've got the hot glue with the fake snow, faux snow. Kind of tap it down there, and then see if I can get it back in the jar, the excess, without making too big of a mess. Okay, all right, I don't hate that. I do want to add, I think I want to add a little bit more, and then I want to add some glitter. But let's make the switch. I'm going to use just this my Elmer's glue, obviously, and kind of gently add a little bit to the open muffin tin here, and then add a little bit more of this stuff and tap it down. This is not hot now, so, and then, you know, make a mess, spill it out here. Okay. And then I thought, I'm probably gonna do a little down here too, that I would add just like a little bit here on the side. There we go. Yeah. And then let's go ahead and hit this one in the bottom. I have this great glue gun that the boys gave me that I am a big fan of. precision tip. However, if I do not get the replacement glue in there exactly right, the little, the trigger action will not move the glue forward. And then I'm just like pulling the trigger, and nothing happens. Which, you know, no one likes that. All right, and then lastly, use my glue. I wanted to kind of zhuzh up my one little sad little cupcake here in the corner with some glitter. I've got this super fine clear crystal glitter that I got off of Amazon that kind of makes everything sparkly and iridescent, and hopefully will add something special to my sad little cupcake there. And it's here. It did not come in this oil of Olay container. Obviously, it came in a plastic bag, and yeah. So then I was stuck putting it in these little tiny jars that I had kind of amassed. Let's see if I can get that to go back in the lid. Trying not to make a huge mess. Okay. It looks good on the... You can't really see what I'm doing. It looks good on the... And then I just spilled the glitter. Good job. All right, let me take this and wipe off my glue paintbrush. It looks good on the cupcake, but it looks a little heavy-handed on the cherry part. So I thought that I would just use the damp brush and kind of brush a little of that glitter off the red berry. And then maybe, I'm gonna probably regret this, hit the little candy cane or little candy peppermint fake candies here at the bottom with just a tiny bit. Let's see if I can pinch it and do it that way. Okay. Now I have glitter on my hands and wait, I will invariably rub my face and wind up with glitter everywhere. All right, so here's what we've got so far. I kind of like it. I've got the twine here that we're going to use to hold it, and then I was wondering, or to hold it, you know, so that we can hang it off of the tree. I was wondering about a bow. Maybe we should put some kind of bow right here. What do y'all think? So I just strung the twine through, just tying it in a simple knot. And I'm thinking about the ribbon that we've got. What would look good? I'm thinking it probably would need to be a red ribbon. Simply because that seems to be the pop of color on this. I got the red berry and then the red handles on the, there you go. The red handles on the rolling pin, and then a little bit of red on the candy. There's a little bit of green, but you can't really see it, especially not the way I've positioned it. Let me check and see if I've got a ribbon and what that looks like. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Look, I found some ribbon. I'm not sure what it's from, but I do have it. And it is red and approximately the same color. So let's see if I can manage to make a passable ribbon. I'm gonna wrap it around, I'm gonna leave some extra so I've got a tail to work with, and then wrap it around my 3 fingers. That's gonna be like 1.5, 2. There we go. There we go. So we'll wrap it like that. And then like that. Whoops. Take a little bit of twine and tie it in the middle there. I was thinking the other day that when I do the videos where you can't really see my face, you just see my hands, then I don't have to worry about sticking my tongue out of my mouth. It's kind of an ongoing family joke that whenever you can tell if I'm thinking or working hard because I've got my tongue stuck out of the corner of my mouth. It is true. It's kind of funny. It would be less funny. It would be more funny if it wasn't true. If it wasn't true. But yeah. So if you ever see me doing that, you'll know. Oh, he's working hard. Okay. So I've got the 3 little loops on each side that I'm gonna kind of just fluff out a little. And yeah, that's kind of cute. And then the droopy tails, which I'm going to cut at an angle and kind of shorten. And hopefully that I do not immediately regret. Whoops, we're gonna have to, okay, I don't regret it. So let's put a little drop of glue here. Let's see where I'm going. I'm gonna put a little drop of glue right here in the middle, right under where the loop is. And then we will glue down the bow. Okay. And then fluff out the loopies again. Often when I'm watching other crafting videos and I see people doing them and they're trying to explain what they're doing and all these, one of the common refrains seems to be, oh, I don't know how to do bows. I don't know how to do bows. And I'm like, bows are not that hard. It's not that these people can't tie a bow. I think that it's difficult to tie the bow while you're talking about it and explaining it. And then like you're halfway through it in the middle and then you're like all of a sudden going, do I even know how to tie a bow? Like do I wear slip-on shoes? Like what am I doing here? At least for me, that seems to be the issue. Okay, I'm gonna trim this side down just a little bit so it's not hanging in front of the snow batter there. And I tucked the other one and I just pulled it off because it's hot glue on a metal thing. Let's try that again. Oh, here. I can try that again. The cheaters. Here's my issue, is that I have these readers that help me see things close up, which I absolutely need. But also, and however, when I have them on and I look up at the camera to see y'all, or really to see myself reflected back at me because I'm videotaping, I can't really see myself very well. It's kind of like a hazy blob, and so then I'm like, wait, maybe I should take them off so that I can see better what I'm doing from a distance, but that's not really helpful. Also, I'm aware I have this turned away from you so you can't really see it. Which, again, not helpful. All right, here we go. What do you think? Oops. Do you think it needs something? Oh, of course, it's going to spin around. Do you think it needs something else? Do you think it looks good like that? I like it like this. I think we're going to call this one finished. Let me pull off those hot glue strings there. Oh, there's another one. Drive me crazy. we'll call this one done and we'll move on to project number 2. All right, so project number 2 is similar, but a little bit different. See, with the glasses again. I found this little metal plate. Found this little metal plate in with the abandoned, rejected toys. It's not that cute. No offense if you are just a fan of yellow and purple and butterflies. Which, okay, all of those things my oldest son Paul was a fan of. Still a fan of. We talked about that when I did the Moravian stars. Yellow and purple, those are his colors. But it's not, I mean, first of all, it's metal, and I don't know, do they give kids metal to play with when they're little, like I don't think so. And it's rusted and it's kind of dented. But I could paint over the whole thing and, you know, get all fancy, put a little rub-on transfer or something like that. But I think that kind of takes away some of the initial charm. I mean, I don't think, maybe for me, not all of my toys were especially cute when I had them. You know, like kind of, and especially after I'd had them for a while, you know, kind of worn down and half busted. And so I kind of think I want to, you know, show a little bit of honor for that and kind of leave this, but I do want to cover up the middle part. So I thought that what we would do, I've got a sort of a collection of things here that we can add to it. But I thought that we would start by putting some paper on the back, not all the way around, but around this circle here. And then I could put some twine between the paper and the back to kind of like hold that in place. So what I've got this little piece of craft paper that came from one of those mini craft booklets that I got probably from Michael's. And I just want to take a pen, he says as he looks around and can't find one. All right, so we're going to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on the paper and kind of do that thing where you use your finger to press around the ridge to leave an indent so you know where you're going to cut. And I very sincerely hope that this works. You can kind of see, I hope that you can kind of see, there's like an indent kind of showing the ridge. And now I'm going to put my glasses back on and cut around that circle. I currently have 2 of these books of Christmas paper that I have bought over the years. See, I buy them and I use one page and then I like keep them. And then the next year I'm like, oh, I don't know what I did with that. I had that one. And so then I buy another one. One of them, the bigger of the 2, is the pages are one-sided. So the benefit of that is, you know, you're like, oh, this is the color I've got. I love it. I want to use it or not. But if you don't like it, you know, the other side is just plain white. The issue with those is that, you know, some of them I like, some of them I don't. The other one is double-sided paper, so it's like this one. It's got one design on one side, another design on the other side. But my problem with these is, like, if I like both sides, then I'm like, wait, which one do I want to use? I did miraculously, it's not the greatest circle, but this is going to be the back. So I did miraculously center the hot cocoa on the top line there. So that would be an ingeniously clever thing to do, but I'm not. I'm going to use the red and pink check. And so I'm going to attempt, look, this is my 3rd type of glue in this video. They should give out like awards for like, you know, most glue used in a crafting video or something like that. But I'm just going to use my little school glue stick to put on the back of the paper. And then I'm going to take my twine and tie it in a knot. Double knot it. And snip off the tail pieces there. And maybe, well, that's not gonna matter because I'm gonna cover that up. Hit it with just a tiny little bit of hot glue there to hold the twine in place, because I don't know if the school glue on its own is going to be sufficient. Also, if I can get this on here, having the little bit of hot glue maybe will hold, kind of hold the paper temporarily while the school glue takes a minute to kick in. Let's hope so. Okay, it's not the most beautiful, but it's a start. And then I've got this little wood snowflake from the Dollar Tree. And I thought that I could attach it to the back here. Oh, it's got a hole. I didn't have to. Well, we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna put a little bit of hot glue in the middle here and glue it to the center of the back. So when the ornament gets turned around on the tree, as they invariably do, although I do know a trick to kind of prevent that, but I usually don't do it. The back is kind of interesting too. All right, so here's the front, because I haven't done anything special to the front yet. And here's the back. So, so far, so good. Now, I've got several little pieces here. This is a little tag. Got a bunch of these 2019 maybe. Did these and the brown or craft paper colored sort of rectangular tags in 2019 and made, well, ornament tags or gift tags for ornaments, but also gift tags for gifts. And then also did a series of ornaments that year, and then also the following year. And in 2020, Paul picked the Christmas theme, and he wanted a tropical Christmas. So like we used these, and then I cut like a silk lay in, like cut it apart and used like one or two pieces of the silk flower petals on top of this, and then like glued a shell, or had some little sand dollars kind of in the center, and kind of did little ornaments like that. And then did similar, not tropical theme, but a similar thing with the square ornaments the year before. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to glue it to the center of this to kind of cover up that butterfly. So sad butterfly. You can kind of see there. We'll hit it with the glue stick again. Now the tag does have a hole that is punched out, but also it comes with the paper is punched out, but it's not pushed out. So I'm hoping that if I am careful with it, it will remain where it is and not expose the hole there. Okay, so now we've got the strange little butterfly covered up with a white circle with scalloped edges there. And then I'm going to take a smaller circle of the red and pink and kind of put it in the center. Now this, I used a hole punch. We've got one of those, I've got one of those, well, it used to be Creative Memories hole punchers for scrapbooking. And we've got several sizes of circles. And so this is just the next smallest one that I thought would fit inside of that scalloped, big scallop. Okay, so we've got this kind of a red and purple and pink thing. And then what else can we do to kind of make it a little bit more interesting? I still have this, the red and green candy thing, which that is an option, maybe not my favorite option. And I've also got this. I have a set of holiday molds that I got off of Amazon, and right after I got them, I wanted to use them right away, but I wasn't really set up to do plaster of Paris or air dry clay or any of those. So I did and certainly not brave enough to try resin yet. So I did the OG tried and true. I filled them all up with hot glue and then busted them out, and then I kind of painted everything garishly, as it were, once it came out. So I think I'm going to use this, but before I attach this, and I'm probably going to attach it with hot glue, I did want to hit it just a little bit with some of that super fine glitter because, you know, is it really a day drinking and crafting video if I haven't, here's some on the table, if I haven't just made a horrible glitter mess all over the house? I mean, I feel like no matter how carefully I clean up, if someone comes along behind me and is like, I wonder what Judson did today. Yeah, you're gonna see glitter and you're gonna know. I think even year one, when Matthew and I were banished to the backyard, you could totally tell. There was like glitter and spray paint. All right, so hit it with a little bit of glitter to make it look a little, you know, fancy. That's for autumn. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit of hot glue here on the paper circle. Again, with the trigger on that precision gun. The good news is, when I was looking for the toys, I like that. Of course, I put my finger right on the, here we go. Put my finger right on the little bells and the little hot glue ornament, and got all that glitter on me. And then I have this. If you've been following along, you'll know I had that those window stickers from Target that I used in the video the other day. I think it's, yeah, these over here with the dinosaurs. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it also had these little snowflake stickers as part of it. And I thought that I would just hit this with a little sticker. I mean, ideally it would have a you know, more of a 3D dimension, but it doesn't. But you know, we'll live with it. And there you go. So that is craft number 2. I did mention the trick to keep your ornaments hanging the right way. So if you hang your if you have your loop like this, and you hang your ornament like this, it's always going to flip sideways. So the idea is to like put a bead or something so that it goes over the branch this way, as opposed to this way. Don't know if you can really tell. And that kind of helps to keep them facing, you know, forward. But also, you know, a lot of times they're just gonna spin. So this is what we've got for today's craft. I've got this toy box thrift flip, and I kind of like them. I think they're cute. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. I mean, that really says something. Like I said, this is Boozy Cinnamon Roll. My name is Judson. If you liked what you saw, if you want to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe, the follow button. What is it we say? Like, follow, share, comment, do all of the things. Let me know, give me feedback. I certainly appreciate that. If you've got questions, let me know. And I appreciate you. I hope that you have a happy holiday season, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.